Herbs in Action. Reflections and stories from the Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens Botany in Action Fellows discussing herbs from around the world.
My name is Taylor. I am a graduate student at the University of Pittsburgh, where I study biology. And the herb I'd like to talk about today is duckweed, or Lemna minor. Duckweed likes to grow in wetlands, ponds, lakes. It is an aquatic plant, and it can be found all over the world. So it is very commonly distributed. Global distribution means we can find it on just about every continent except for Antarctica. It is the world's smallest flowering plant, so it is very tiny. Several of them can sit on your pinky fingernail. It looks like little small green globules, but because of its small size, it makes it very amenable or useful for studying in both the laboratory setting as well as in a field setting. Can do a lot with it. It has most recently been used to understand biofuel production, so it produces a lot of starches, even though it's small size. Because it grows so fast, it can take over an entire water body very quickly, so it produces biomass very quickly, and as well as bioremediation, it can uptake and remove toxins and excess nutrient pollution from waters. And what I use it for specifically is evolutionary ecology, trying to understand how evolutionary forces and ecological forces interact with each other to produce different outcomes. Usually it grows well in a domesticated setting, so in a home it can do well in an aquarium. We try to avoid some of that though, because there are some invasive aquatic ferns that are very similar to duckweed that are being sold on the aquaculture market for the same purpose. So it's very important to know where you're getting your duckweed from. Ducks do enjoy eating it. In fact, there are some species of duckweed that are known to survive the passage through a duck's digestive system, which means that ducks help transport individuals from one water body to another. And that's because duckweed isn't a mobile animal. It has to rely on animals transported. Much to my chagrin, there are lots of insects that like to eat duckweed. Those include small aphids or weevils. And in fact, this summer I had an outbreak of something called duckweed moths. So the larvae get implanted into the communities, and then the larvae devour everything. So after you've spent all this time and effort setting up big experiments and we get a moth outbreak, it's not as much fun. We often don't have very good plant systems for understanding how evolution and ecology interact. So this is kind of a great example of how we can adopt plants into evolutionary studies.
Herbs in Action is a collaboration between Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens and the Saturday Light Brigade, and is made possible by the Mary Jane Berger Memorial Foundation, dedicated to educating the community about the many benefits and uses of herbs. To hear this feature again, or to learn more about herbs from around the world, visit mjbergerfoundation.org.